everyone. Sorry for another awkward angle. Um, you'll have to do. I'm in my room, so yeah. I hope the lighting isn't too terrible, even though I can already tell it's going to be a bit of an issue. That's daylight. My room doesn't get much daylight. The light is also on because the daylight isn't enough. Without my light on, it would look too dark. So now it looks like this. If I didn't have that open, the blind, then it would also still be too dark because the light itself isn't bright enough. I can't win. Oh well. Anyway, I filmed something yesterday, but it maybe was too open. I mean, I might still be open, but I don't. Certain maybe not. Anyway, so I thought I'd refilm, and instead of me trying to do some DIY whilst talking, I'd just sit down in my chair. This chair was originally in the utility room, which was the room I was filming yesterday. But it's finally in here. I mean, it's kind of cumbersome. Maybe one day I'll go back into the utility room. I have no idea. We'll see. Um, who knows what the future is to bring and stuff like that. Maybe I won't even have a chair one day. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. I have up to like 26 minutes. Is that what it's saying? Oh, it does say that. I have like up to 26 minutes of recording time, guys. This might be that whole length because why not? That's kind of how I do it nowadays. Sometimes I just like let it go for as long as possible, and then it can stop when it's decided it's full. Anyway, I didn't post last week because stuff happened and I got a bit unwell at the end. Not like properly unwell, like it feels like a cold, but it's not. It's when I do too much, my body eventually becomes unwell from doing too much too often, too long. It just runs it down. And I've managed to do that. But I still stuff that needs to get done. So now I'm like kind of trying to get bits done, but it's not exactly very good. I'm getting a bit on the useless side again. I need to like kind of kick my son in the backside a bit. So hopefully that will happen. It's nicer weather this week, to be honest. But the utility room, one of the rooms I need to do work in, is just cold in general. And I could put a heater down there and warm it up, but it being cold is useful for what's in there. It's also a pantry, so there's food items in there too. There's also a freezer. So yeah. Anyway, I will explain what happened last week. And then yeah, this is a very low key video. I do apologize, but I feel like perhaps you'll like it. I don't know. Okay, so shh. I'm trying to film a video. Sebastian, Cassandra, cheeky, my butchies. Also, I'm not gonna show you my room because I've got clothes fins up with clothes on. It could all be dry by now. Actually, I'll check that in a bit. So yes. Actually, I'll backtrack a bit back. The week before last week, I took Matilda to get a health checkup at the vet. As she'd had a heat now, and I want to just make sure she's all healthy, and that if they agree, then she's healthy, then she can be booked in to be spayed. So that wasn't last week, but the week before. It's April 4th today, and today is Tuesday. So not last week, but the week before that. So you can work out dates yourself. I cannot be bothered to do that for you guys. Sorry. And that was either the Wednesday or Thursday of last week. Not last week. The week before last week. so almost a couple of weeks ago. And they agreed that she was healthy. Bear in mind, at this point, I was also still doing stuff in the house and stuff, so I was already having busy weeks. So the last few weeks have been rather busy for me, to be honest. And they booked her in for Wednesday last week, which she went to, and she got spayed. Originally, I was going to do a YouTube video on Wednesday last week because I didn't know what to post. I thought, and I decided, oh, she should be like all wobbly and stuff. So maybe I'll like film her when she gets back from the vets and stuff, and I'll put that up because that'll be like, kind of funny because she'll be all wobbly, and obviously I'll need to keep an eye on her anyway, so it would make sense to just do a video on her, and I could then talk about how stuff like getting a spray and all that, and the appointment beforehand and all that. So yeah, she got spayed. I was crying a lot of that day when I had dropped her off at the vet. I'd gotten back with my father. Eventually, he had to go to work, and then I was very easily starting to cry. Like every slight thought of it, I was crying. Whoosh! And yeah, I was like almost an emotional wreck. I was like worried. I felt like I had abandoned her. I feel like, oh, what it feels like I've abandoned her and she's really upset and all these things. She was fine. I got a call around 2 o'clock. And I just about been in the utility room for like an hour or so at this point, half an hour to an hour, doing some storage box things, making them. They're pain in the. I do not like them. I haven't finished them. I still need to finish them. Doing more cumbersome than what they're worth. Anyway, so yes, stop backtracking. Naughty. So yeah, I got a call and saying, tell me if that's the vets and that, about Matilda surgery. Reassured straight away why she's fine. Everything was fine. And that she was ready to pick up between 3 and 4. So I was like, yeah, it's fine, all that. So then I called my father, let him know. He came back from work, and then we went to go pick her up. And they just, took me into sort of the consultation, sort of examination room, the same room she'd been in when she had a health check the week previous. And they just explained, about looking after the wound and the pain medicine and stuff, and the spraying cones, and they don't fear, and blah 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 blah. Yep. I then paid for her surgery and stuff, and I got given an appointment for Friday, so they can, so 2 days later, so they can see her. But it said, oh, obviously, if anything wrong, just call. There wasn't. Literally, she started meowing as we was leaving the vet, because she was like, I don't want this. I want to let me out and stuff. She was meowing all the way in the car ride. She was like a little bit dozy, a little bit, but not much. I was like expecting her to basically just be sleeping. Cause they said you can offer food and water when you get back. She'll probably just be really tired and wobbly and probably just want to sleep. No, that wasn't the case, guys. I got back and I think Dad has gone forever, and we got her out of the thing, and she was straight to the biscuits, straight to the food. Obviously, I couldn't give her food after 7:30 the night previous to the surgery, and water not after 7 a.m. the day of the surgery. Yeah, she was straight out of biscuits. Then she had some water, and then she was getting up on the sofa and everything. I will be honest, guys, there was basically next to no wobble. So I did film little clips, but I didn't post them in the end. I do as well. I film little bits. I'm like, oh, I'll put these up, and then I never do because sometimes I wish I could put them all together and then put them up. But well, I deleted my Splice app, which is an editing app, because I didn't I was doing a free trial and I didn't want to pay for it yet. Maybe at some point I will do, just not right now. And I have no way of putting stuff together. I have to film things in one go. Maybe at some point I will just randomly put up clips of all this stuff, that I filmed. But there'll be like no relevance. They'll be from like possibly months or years ago, and you'll just have to deal with it. Anyway, so yeah, we go back, and she was fine, eating and stuff, and yeah, belly wobble. And then there's still a spray paint stuff on it on the wound area with the stitches. Uh, it's just meant to help it and stuff. And anything it touched, it came off on, including me. But no, she was fine. She was like slightly off, but she wasn't like she could get about. She was not getting herself hurt or anything. I'd been giving them some pain medicine to start on the next morning, and I gave her the recommended dosage for a few mornings until day before yesterday, when my dad said she seems fine, just don't bother giving it to her next morning, and I didn't, and she's fine. Obviously, if she just seemed like she's in pain, I'll give it to her, but she actually now seems fine already. And it's originally meant to be like 5 to 7 days of giving her the pain medicine, but I guess she's just bouncing back very quickly. I mean, she basically bounced back by the time she'd gotten home from the surgery. I jokingly complained when I went in on Friday saying, oh, you're saying you should be all tired and stuff and probably wanted to sleep. No, straight to the biscuits and everything. Sebastian, excuse me, mister. I'm trying to film. I'm sorry if you can hear him. He is deciding to make sounds while I'm trying to film. Thank you very much. So yeah. On Friday and then Saturday we had an explore, but I'll backtrack back to Friday because I also had an Amazon delivery arrive Friday later on. I had a few packages, two very heavy ones. One was 8 kilograms worth of cat biscuits. The other was a 24 can pack of 330 milliliter drinks. And he handed me them all together. And I managed to hold it, and I managed to get to the living room. I was like, thank you, I'm not, closing the door with my, back, and get myself into the living room. And I had to I can't demonstrate here. Holding it, and I had to fall/sit down backwards, sliding myself on the floor. I'll demonstrate via chair, so it's not gonna be very good and probably potentially very dangerous. Who knows? But I was up like this. Basically, I had to, that sort of, put proper back like that onto the floor. Whilst I didn't want to drop because I mean there's cans in it and stuff, and I didn't want to risk making any cans explode or anything. And that kind of hurt the back of my knees a bit. Not terribly, but you'd want to be a bit careful after such a thing. Also, starting to not feel the best by Friday. I was starting to feel a bit run down, but I was feeling fully unwell more so by Saturday. Saturday we went on an explore. A very good explore. I enjoyed it. Amazing. It was with Andy from ALW research team, and Exploring Dave, who we got to meet for the first time on Saturday, and it was great, guys. We went to a few places. First a sort of hotel thing, and then on that site, Andy showed us a bit of old railway, and there's a bridge. Obviously, there's no railway line there physically anymore, just a cut-in. But going down the steep cut-in, I managed to strain a tendon in the back of my left knee. Now, I don't know if you guys probably don't know this, but back in 2021, I did the same thing in the back of my right knee, and that's why I have that stick. So if you hear from the main channel, my stick, the whole story of getting out of that was from after injuring my tendon, and I saw it on a bit of Hold a Boundary line. Go back and find that video on the main channel, guys. All good stuff. So yeah, I had my stick with me. Don't worry. But yeah, I and then I also then on Saturday, I then properly strained my left tendon. Kind of re-strained my right one, not as badly, but still made it hurt. Obviously, that one's weak. That still has issues every now and again to this day if I do too much. And I'll say, day previous I'd done the thing with the boxes and so yeah, I had to kind of. I didn't let people know. I let my dad know in the end before anyone else. Like, oh yeah, finished as soon as I've done my tennis in, but it's fine. So yeah, I was a bit hobbly and going up and down steep things was like really hurting, but I really was looking forward to being out that day, and an injury is worth it. So as much as walking about could be very painful at times, and I didn't risk anything that could be potentially dangerous and maybe fall into something as much. Usually I'm a bit more parkour daredevil, guys. But I didn't want to actually. I'm like, I don't trust my body as much to be as agile as it can be when it needs to be, so I won't risk it. So yeah, we did that, and then we went to see if there's a bridge, no, sorry, tunnel, open. It wasn't. We had sources that was telling us that yes, should be unlocked, and it wasn't. But it's fine. I think Andy was really upset about that, but in my mind, the fact that we was out on an explore that day in general is in itself a good thing / success. We're enjoying ourselves, having a good time. It's not something you have to feel bad for or just be disappointed over. I had a good time. I got to see Andy again. I got to meet an incredible guy like Exploring Dave, and we all had a good time. I was a little bit cold and unwell, sure, and injured, but I still enjoyed myself, And yeah, then after that, we went to Fort Marsh, power station. Well, was what remains of it. Now, when I was between 8 and 10 years old, that was my first explore Fort Marsh. Seeing it was like nostalgia, but also not, because when I went as like an 8 to 10-year-old, the cooling towers and everything was still up. I went into them buildings and into the cooling towers and echoes and the memories there, and technically those things held stories of when I was active, and the memories and stories of me and my father and even my sister going into them, and now it's like all gone. So it was like part of it was nostalgic, a part of it you can still see and remember, but then the other stuff it was almost like this is wrong. It kind of feels like stories and memories have been destroyed, like erased completely, like they never happened almost. So yeah, it was a bit strange. I still enjoyed it though. It was a bit painful, but there was it felt Lord of the Rings vibes. I'll be honest, guys, cause so much overgrowth now. So yeah, we had a good day Saturday, and then in the end we got back and stuff, and then I was also very run down. And then Sunday, it was nice weather Sunday. I wanted to go for a walk, because it was just the day after proper injuring my tendons. I decided not to. I tried to go for a walk yesterday. Didn't go to bus. Actually, I tried to film this yesterday. Well, in the utility room doing DIY stuff. Got annoyed, gave up, and then went for a walk. Didn't get as far. It's not bad weather this week, guys. Apart from Thursday, apparently, with rain. Like, temperature-wise, it's not bad, and it's sunny. But the breeze, any breeze is so cold. I hate it. I hate cold temperatures. And because I'm also not feeling my best right now, um, I'm less able to handle stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be honest, guys. Recently, I've been struggling with a lot of stuff. I think, to be honest, I've been struggling like years of my life at this point since I was like 12, 13 years old. Um, and in some ways, I've gotten better than my worst points, and in some ways, I feel like I am now worse. I am kind of just accepted what I am at this point, and what I'm like and stuff. Like, anyway, so yeah. Here's me struggling, not doing as much as I could. Wish I did more. Wish I was able to do more. And people are like, oh, just do more. I'm like, but then I'd have to explain why I can't. And people are like, oh, just get to hell. And I'm like, no. It's kind of an issue, You know you're struggling, and you technically need help, but you don't want it. And unless you want help, you're never gonna get better. Not really. If someone tried to force you to get better, or force you to get better everywhere, but you're not actually mentally better, just fix any of the physical issues or whatever, and you'll never really be better or stay better. It doesn't work. So yeah, life. Ah, I think children should get out in nature more and not be so reliant and wanting to be on technology so much. People have to enjoy the outside life, you know? It's good, like, people manage to get their kids out and about and stuff. But if at the end of the day, they're thinking or such wanting to just get back to that technology, I think we kind of failed because I wish some kids could have had some of the childhood experiences I had. They're exploring stuff like going to Fort Marsh as a kid and stuff like that. Oh, sure, there was definitely risk, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there was, but my dad's a smart person and I wasn't a complete idiot. And I didn't get hurt. I was probably a bit clumsy as a kid, but I don't know. If a child would rather be at home slash on technology or with technology and stuff like that, then going out and it's seeing places like museums or seaside or walks and stuff like that, nature sort of stuff, and then I think something's just really wrong with that. This is me just rambling away until this ends now, guys. So you can click off or you can just listen to my ramblings. You never know, you might hear something. Who knows? I don't like this woke culture we have. Big part of it to blame. Kids and young adults and turning out the way they are now is a lot of it, all of this bad stuff is down to like woke culture and stuff, and it's really sad to see. I see all these people listening to like media and government and stuff and believing everything they're told because, oh, the news and stuff would never lie to me. It only wants my best interest. No, it doesn't. Ish. This stuff don't get talked about on the main channel, but I don't really care if my channel get like people like, oh, you can't upload on here anymore or whatever, or shadow banned, or I don't care. No. Who knows how long anyone has to live in this world? But I know people have significantly less likely to live as long now because they've listened to stupid government and news because they were just doing as they were told, or they just wanted to be able to do this and do that, or go on holiday, or they think it's good for them, or it's healthy. Trust in your bodies, people, and here's me rambling. I won't say anything too specifically, but I'm sure some people will listen and will understand what I'm talking about, and those that don't. Maybe at some point we'll talk about it properly, but I don't want to give a bad taste or impression of the main channel, but this is my personal channel, so it's fine. Anyway, maybe people are interested in what it's like, what I'm like, if you're from the main channel of Play Night Cylinder, you'd be like, oh, Pip's a person. Huh, yeah, I'm a person. I'm like a very unique person. I'm not like most people. Neither is my dad, to be honest, but I'm definitely very unique. I have my mother and me as well, so yeah. I can be emotional and I can be moody and I can be everything. And anything or nothing. I will. Until the next one, guys. Maybe it'll be another rambling one. Maybe it'll be something better. Till next time, see you guys.